from the hustle and bustle of getting here, parking, gowns, student cards, photos, lining up, all the chaos that your morning has had in it so far, to this time of celebration, moving with intention and with gratitude. I'm going to begin our time this morning with an excerpt from the book Embers by Indigenous author Richard Wagamese. Embers is a book of short reflections and meditations that includes, scattered throughout, a series of exchanges between the author and a character called Old Woman. This is one of those sections. Me, what is the purpose of ceremony? Old woman, to lead you to yourself. Me, how? Old woman, by giving you an idea of who you want to be and then allowing you to create the experience of being that way. Me, which ceremony is best then? Old woman, life. Choose what leads you to the highest vision you can have of yourself, and then choose what allows you to express that. What you express, you experience. What you experience, you are. Me, how do I prepare? Old woman, breathe. You have spent these past several years in preparation, working to become the highest vision of yourself. Reading, writing, listening, learning, exploring, all experiencing. And this morning in this place, surrounded by your classmates and families, you are invited first to breathe. And breathing all together, we express our celebration and thanksgiving for you, for your journeys and accomplishments, for all that you have learned both in and out of class, the ways you have grown and overcome hurdles and challenges, and for all the ways that you will take what you have learned, apply it, and make the world a better place. Breathing all together, let us take a moment of thanks for the opportunity to be together and for everything that has brought you through to this day of celebration. Congratulations, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Chaplain Burns. Ségan, Anine Bojo, good day, bonjour. This is a good day. In Michif, we say Tanashi Kiawao, which means hello and how are you? And how are you? By a show of thumbs? That's why, if only they were lighters, it would be so cool. And thank you for your very highly raised thumb. Ne Queen's University etonungwe, ne Ganasote jinungwe. Ne Haudenosaunee dak nun Anishinabek, de hadis nun sahere ne on kwanja. Gimakwe gichimako me gegamek atemagat nadawe minwa Anishinaabe aking. In my very broken Anishinaabe-Moan and Haudenosaunee, I've acknowledged the territory that the university stands on. I live in Treaty 1 territory, the homeland of the Red River Métis, that's Manitoba, and I'm very grateful to be a visitor here on these lands. And I'm glad to acknowledge the care that the Indigenous leadership here, the Indigenous people here, have taken of you while you may have been away from home. I'm grateful for their generosity and for sharing their teachings with love and care. And I'm reminded on this day of our elder, Te Howisquant, Alan Dockstader, and his teaching of having a good mind and a good heart as you go out into the world. Principal Dean, faculty and staff, alumni, family and friends and loved ones of our graduates, and most significantly, you, our superstars today. Welcome to Spring Convocation 2026 here in Slush Puppy Place. But at the coolest address in the country, #1, Tragically Hip Way. Love that. And just as warm a welcome to you online all around the world. And happy summer as we celebrate the graduating class of 2026. My name is Sheila Rogers. I'm a longtime radio broadcast journalist. I spent about 400 years at CBC Radio. And actually, when I celebrated my 40th anniversary, a little publicity went out saying 400 years. So there were the odd day, right? I have the honor of being the chancellor here at Queen's University and presiding over Convocation, which is this most amazing vortex of hope and joy. I invite you all to take to heart our time together today, and so that we may fully immerse ourselves in this grand occasion, we are putting our phones and devices on airplane mode, so we may support students from the School of Graduate Studies and Postdoctoral Affairs and the Faculty of Arts and Science. Well, I never dreamed I'd be quoting Bad Bunny at Convocation. But here goes. Bad Bunny once said, "Dreamers, keep on dreaming and keep working hard to achieve your goals. There are many difficulties, but what matters is to stay focused and have perseverance." And I think he was thinking about you when he created those words. Here at Queen's, we love the dreamers, the people who on a rainy day see the sky and not the clouds, who look through a microscope and see a kaleidoscopic landscape in a folded protein, who believe that movies would be a whole lot more lifelike if they weren't in black and white, but in color, as Dr. Herbert Kalmus did while he was teaching at Queen's in 1912. He went on to create Technicolor. So remember that when you've got a great idea and someone says to you, "You're dreaming in Technicolor." We love those who dream, understanding that it's way more fun and heart-enlarging, not to mention right, to celebrate difference instead of fearing it, to know it doesn't diminish, it enriches. It was the dreamers who envisioned this university back in 1841. And it was a dreamer named Robert Sutherland who graduated in 1852 in classics and mathematics. He was already into interdisciplinarity before it was even a term. And he became the first black student to graduate in what was then Upper Canada. He was the 30th student to graduate from Queen's. He went on to study law at Osgoode Hall, becoming the first black lawyer in what was then British North America. In 1878, he died of pneumonia, and he left his sizable estate of $12,000 to Queen's. It was sizable at the time. Right now, it would probably be our operating budget for a year. And he left it to Queen's because he wrote in his will, he was treated like a gentleman while he was here. Robert Sutherland's bequest ended up saving the university, which had lost most of its endowment due to a bank failure. His generosity kept Queen's solvent, so that almost 150 years after he died, our principal, Patrick Dean, could dream this university into its bicentennial in 2041. Robert Sutherland and his dream is a part of all of us. Perhaps you took swing dance lessons in the Robert Sutherland room in the JDUC. I saw some swing dancers down in the gazebo last night at Lake Ontario while I was swimming. Maybe you received his eponymous award for excellence in debating, or maybe you took policy studies in Robert Sutherland Hall, the very naming of that hall being a dream of Gregory Frankson, who was the first black Canadian to serve as president of the Alma Mater Society in the late 1990s. He is now an award-winning poet, consultant, and the creator and director of a brand new Canadian Black Literary Festival, which will make its debut in August, which is another dream he had. Today is all about the dreamers, you and your loved ones who dreamed this for you. Today, you are a dream come true. Your dream and theirs, your teachers, the faculty here at Queen's, all of us here at Queen's. And I would add your ancestors too, who I know are live streaming you as I speak. You're about to begin your independent life, and I know you're going to test your dreams against reality. Don't forget to believe in them, and don't forget to believe in yourself. We're counting on you. We know you know what's possible. And I know you're up to the challenge because you're right here, right now, about to cross the stage from one life stage to another. You did it, and you're living the dream. So from all of us at Queen's, congratulations on this milestone in your lives. And EYL, does anyone know what that means? Hashtag EYL? I'm not surprised because I just made it up. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. And have a ball because you've most certainly deserved it. And now on to your future, so full of promise, the promise that is you. Congratulations, class of 2026. And now it is my great pleasure and honor to call to the stage our principal, Patrick Dean, to address Convocation.
Well, thank you very much, Chancellor, distinguished colleagues, friends and family, graduates. It's my great pleasure to be with you here today as you celebrate the successful conclusion of your studies. For some of you, today promises an absolute and final liberation from the demands of formal study, whereas for others, such as those going on to graduate studies, it provides a sort of breather in which you can collect your energies and confirm your intentions before plunging back into the life of formal learning. For yet others, today's graduation marks a transition from one kind of educational experience to another. I'm thinking earlier in this series of convocation ceremonies of our medical students as they transition from medical school to residency, or in the case of our law students, from law school to articling, or whatever means they have chosen to satisfy the experiential learning requirement for licensing in their professions. But even outside of those professions, academic learning inevitably gives way after graduation to the continuing education that comes from experience. I draw the distinction between formal and experiential learning, however, because I want to invite you to reflect on the extent to which your degree studies here at Queen's have prepared you for the world in which you will now seek to build a career and to live a good life. You've been exceptionally well prepared, of course, within the terms of your degrees and of your field of study. And as I said, in some areas, the practical application of academic study, the demonstrated ability to transfer what is learned in the classroom or the lab into everyday life experience is in fact required for licensing to practice. But outside of the professions, there may be no such requirement. But your studies will be applied to life nevertheless. Skills learned in the study of history, or philosophy, or psychology are most certainly transferable, and historically have often been transferred with very great positive effect for both the individual and for society. Now, our culture at present is not inclined to acknowledge this. To my dismay, I was recently in a bookstore and happened to notice a new volume with the ironic title, "At least you're not an English major," and other comforting sentiments for the new graduate. Just because our society is not inclined to acknowledge the transferability of learning from these kinds of fields does not make it untrue. In fact, English professors like myself might do well to identify more explicitly the ways in which the study of literature, for example, cultivates in the student a unique power of agency in the world of practical affairs. What I've been enumerating so far are the relatively direct ways in which academic studies prepare you for the world and for life after graduation. There are also indirect, possibly quite attenuated, but nevertheless impactful ways. Here I'm thinking of things like campus social life, clubs, student government, and athletics, for example. the experience of attending Queen's encompasses all of these things as well. And they have an educational, formative impact that is, in many cases, no less than the impact of what happens in the classroom in the context of formal, structured study. A similar view is embodied in our institutional mythos, the way in which we think of the institution, or more particularly, the way in which our alumni think of the institution. And we're proud to number amongst those alumni leaders in government, in the arts, industry, commerce, engineering, law, health, research, to name only a few fields in which graduates of Queen's have distinguished themselves. Graduates that you are well prepared and set on a similar course is clear, at least so long as the broader context within which you will build your careers and live your lives remains relatively stable. But these are strange and unstable times, and it is important at graduation to ask what, in addition to the tools you have acquired to date through your formal and informal education at Queen's, you might need to navigate an unpredictable future. That is why I focused earlier on the issue of transferable skills and on your capacity to make your education count, even when, as indeed sometimes does happen, your practical reality, the context within which you find yourself operating, is challenging or even hostile to the reality for which you were educated. You are all familiar with the challenges facing your generation, so I needn't enumerate them here, except to note that the rules govern according to which at least the last 3 generations engaged with the world and their futures are radically changing. The collapse of the rules-based international order, the failure of institutions and international legal agreements that brought a measure of stability and predictability to the world after World War II, has, within the very short time you have been students here at Queen's, alarmingly become a commonplace. And that collapse is both a symptom and a symbol for instability in many more areas than geopolitics. In the global economy, for example, in the advent of the so-called post-truth era, in the deepening of the climate crisis, and more recently, and perhaps most challengingly, in the advent of generative AI. As a colleague of mine, who is a philosopher, repeatedly points out, our culture and its institutions are caught up in a crisis that has many dimensions, but that is also an epistemological crisis, a crisis having to do with what we know and how we know. It is therefore a fundamental crisis. And it goes without saying that very few areas of human life can go unaffected in such a crisis. So what, in addition to the formal and informal preparation you've received during your studies, will be helpful as you navigate your way forward? So to answer that question, and not surprisingly because I'm an English professor, I want to turn to a famous literary text, namely a speech by the character Polonius in Act 1, Scene 3 of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Outside of the complex, ironic reverberations of the play, the advice which Polonius gives is indeed sound. It will certainly be familiar to many of you, those who know the play and even those who don't know the play. These have become so much common currency in our language. Polonius is speaking to his son Laertes, and not inappropriately for this occasion, Laertes is about to head back to France to return to university. And Polonius offers him advice, perhaps unwelcome advice, on all kinds of issues. Firstly, on dressing. Buy clothes, says Polonius, that are rich, not gaudy. And the reason for this? Because the apparel oft proclaims the man, says Polonius. And when dealing with the financial challenges of campus life, Polonius says, neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend. Now, you're probably also familiar with the end of Polonius' speech, But it is, I think, profound and true, even if Polonius himself, the character in the play, couldn't live up to it. And this is what he says. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Now, this may not be an effective rebuttal to the idea that we are in an epistemological crisis, but it is certainly one answer to it. If truth is objectively indeterminable, if what we know and how we know it is less and less a matter for consensus, all we have and all we can use to guide us are our values. To thine own self be true, says Polonius. And it is interesting that what follows this premise, as the night, the day, is honesty. Thou canst not then be false to any man, says Polonius. And from that honesty come the key values: responsibility, equity, justice, respect for all. Now, these values will undoubtedly help you navigate through the uncertainties that lie ahead, but will they be enough? There is one human faculty that I haven't yet mentioned, and which will undoubtedly be the guarantor of a better future for each of you and for humanity at large. And this is the faculty to which the Chancellor referred in what she said to you about dreams and the importance of dreaming. That faculty is the faculty of imagination. Without imagination, a brilliant future for each of you cannot be planned. And without imagination, a good and just society cannot even be conceived, let alone realized. So I want to leave you with another insight, derived again from the world of literature, but this time from the writings of a speculative author, Ursula K. Le Guin. In 2014, as she accepted a prize at the National Book Awards, Le Guin said this: I think hard times are coming when we will be wanting the voices of writers who can see alternatives to how we live now, can see through our fear-stricken society and its obsessive technologies to other ways of being, and even imagine real grounds for hope. We'll need writers who can remember freedom, poets, visionaries. We will need realists of a larger reality. My wish, graduates, for all of you is that, following Polonius's advice, you will indeed be true to yourselves, no matter what happens in the world around you. And that in your work, whatever it is, you will always keep vital that capacity to imagine for yourselves, in your lives, and in your careers, and especially for our society at large. Congratulations to you all, realists of a larger reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chancellor Rogers. She says something new every single day. I never know what kind of intro I'm going to get, but that was very kind. Sego, Bojo, hello, class of 2026. How are you feeling? I am a teacher, so I'll make you do that again with even more energy. How are you feeling? I stand here as your peer to offer my heartfelt congratulations. It is an honor to witness the pride and certainly relief displayed on your faces right now as you collect your degrees. Today is your milestone moment. And isn't it funny how getting here took forever, but in this moment, it all feels to have flown by in the blink of an eye. Luckily, you'll have plenty of time to savor this moment while watching hundreds of your peers cross the stage. As you close this chapter, I know that it is just the beginning of your meaningful endeavors. My wish is that wherever you go in the world and whatever way you choose to spend your time, you create change in a way that makes sense for you. I have little wisdom to offer you, but I do know that a good teacher provokes questions instead of feeding answers. The way we spend our days is the way we spend our lives. So amongst the hustle and bustle of life, how are you going to lean into your personal mandate and aspirations? Now finally, and very, very importantly, let's not ever forget the people who got you to this moment and degree. Family, friends, mentors, and supporters. The classmates turned housemates that filled your time at Queen's with memories for a lifetime, and the people who picked up your calls at all hours to listen and offer encouragement. They were right, you could get through it. So to borrow from Drake's song lyrics, girl, nothing's an accident, you went to Queen's University, now you're a graduate, shout out your family. And with that, graduates, please join me in giving your biggest fans a round of applause.
Thank you. Candidates in the School of Graduate Studies and Postdoctoral Affairs and the Faculty of Arts and Science, please rise. I'm about to read to you the sponsio, and at the end of the sponsio, what I want you to do is yell as loudly as you can, "I do." Raise the rafters, send it to your family, your friend, and your loved ones. Do you promise that you will always strive to make your life and conduct worthy of the honor about to be conferred upon you, that you will cherish an abiding loyalty to this university, and, as far as in you lies, endeavor to advance its interests? Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, please remain standing. All others, please be seated. Chancellor Rogers, I have the honor to present for you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, those whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor, that they may receive these degrees at your hands.
In the name of this university and by authority of Royal Charter, I admit you to these degrees with all their rights, privileges, and responsibilities.
Our candidates will now move to the stage to receive their degrees. Today, we continue a proud tradition of convocation at Queen's. We would like to take a moment to recognize those who have already made this journey. So to all Queen's alumni in the audience, welcome home. During the ceremony, photographs will be taken of graduates as they cross the stage and before they return to their seats. Awards will also be presented to graduate recipients as they cross the stage. A listing of award recipients can be found in the Convocation program, which you can download onto your device using the QR code on your program card. Thank you. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Patricia Aka Baidu. Melissa Kirsty Folk. Margaret Ellen Fussell. Kimberly Hill, too. Hannah Berger Laviano, who is receiving a gift from the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center. Shannon Kelly McConnell. Carly Candace Meon Milburn, who is receiving a gift from the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center. Elizabeth Owusu Pepra Asare. Laura Kelly Ryan. Janan Shaheen. Alicia Rebecca Strongman. Alicia Rebecca Strongman. Congratulations to these graduates.
Chancellor Rogers, I have the honor to present for the degree of Masters of Science, Masters of Arts, Masters of Arts in Arts Leadership, Master of Public Administration, Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Music Theater. Those whose names will be announced whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive these degrees at your hands.
As our candidates take to the stage to receive their degrees, we would like to draw your attention to our celebration of our Indigenous graduates through gifting. During the ceremony, you may see certain graduates receive a gift as they cross the stage. Every year, Four Directions Indigenous Student Center, on behalf of the university, the Indigenous Council of Queen's University, and the Vice Provost and Dean of Student Affairs presents graduating Indigenous students with special gifts during their convocation ceremonies in honor of their accomplishments as Indigenous graduates of Queen's University. Following convocation, Indigenous graduates are invited back to Four Directions to put their handprint on a canvas wall hanging, along with their name, program, year of graduation, and community, leaving their mark on Queen's in perpetuity. For the degree of Master of Science, Sophia Marie Guest. For the degree of Master of Arts, Sarah Jane Mingies Fullerton Meyerhans. Alice Maria Maximowski. Kirsten Olivia McCormick. For the degree of Master of Arts, Arts Leadership, Shelley Marie Chase. Becky Kian Ying Huang. Olga Polstvin. Caroline Marie Popiel. Olivia Taylor. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, Donald Ames. For the degree of Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Shiho Sasaki. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Charlie Bodger. Chris Ran Chen. Adler Matthias Grinke. Jesse Korn. Griffin Gabriel Wade Soleil. Kennedy Madeline Moore. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sarah Salim Abdul Hussein. Ilana Shira Aben. Connor Charles Anthony Adams. Nagin Ahmadi. Maya Al Idrisi. Ava Lee Allen. Jashawn Timothy Anandarajan. Reese Sabrine Anderson. Benjamin Thomas Armstrong. Ella Margaret Bailey. Ivy Faith Baird. Adlira Balaj. Rachel Pauline Bannister. Charlotte Ann McPhedron Barnes. Sophie Catherine Beer. Dylan Bear. Milat Berhane. Olivia Birmingham, who is receiving the Medal in Art History. Georgiana Christina Benedict. Ashley Dawn Biswanger. Benjamin Hale Bongard. Daniela Jordan Gonzalves Baudreau. Peyton Marie Bray. Taya Jory May Breeden. Poppy Marguerite Kearns Wilkinson Brooks. Louis James Bryant. Olivia Wright Buchanan. George Dylan Bullis. Alexandra Kaylin Bullen. Oleana Burkova. Samuel Patrick Byrne. Hope Letitia Campbell Jennings. Rachel Renee Capasso. Tamara Fatima Aliana Carnavale. Andrew Mark Leeming Carr. Gabriel Joseph Karuba. Colt Michael Charlton. Robert Henri Charon. Jaden Renkang Nojiri Cheong. Vicky Jackie Chung Song. India Violet Cochran. Lily Grace Coughlin, who is receiving a gift from the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center. Charles Lawrence Cranston Koch. Cassidy Alexandra Como Wells. Molly Jones Susan Comfort. Amelia Grace Cook. Daniela Alexis Coquilla. Sarah Jessie Cosman. David Andrew Cox. Olivia Anna Koza. Hayden David Crompton. Nicole Freitas de Encarnação. Ziyuan Dai. Anandi Joy Kriyachanda Daika. Maxime Naylan Delat. Desiree Botema Dow. Caitlin Patricia Davey. Cameron James DeCloet. John Joseph Bernard Desroches. John Vincent Di Girolamo. Evan Giuliano Trevisan Dominguez. Christina Isabella Dovalos. Claire Sydney Duffy Dudley. Lexi Brooklyn Dunn. Kathleen Pearl Eady. Erin Afovi. Dean Martin Ellis. Ayman Khalil Al-Rafi. Abigail Lily Epstein. Kaylin Marie Ertel. Erin Clancy Evans. Emily Catherine Facey. Gemma Kate Falasconi, who is receiving the Medal in Film and Media. Audrey Sage Field. Samantha Ryan Fields. Erin Elaine Flindle. Evan Alexandra Folkins. Ethan Fong. Jake Benjamin Forster. Danae Fortin. Katarina Jean Fortin. Paige Kennedy Foster. Meredith Minnie Fowler. Emily Furman. Gabriella Susan Furr.
Michael McMahon Gallant. Maya Nicole Galvin. Sia Mary Bongbo. Graham David Thomas Gent. Emma Catherine Gephardt. Grace Oliva Gibson. Sophie Gill. Serena Lillian Girolometto. Larissa Anjali Gokul Jefferson. Eduardo Gomez Diaz. Graydon Charles Gould. Rachel Elizabeth Gosson. Hadley Ann Green. Madalena Sarah Greco. Lauren Elizabeth Griffin. Peter Emile John Gruters. Lei Gu. Sophia Jennifer Guido. Sahar Hakimi. Olivia Isabel Haley, who's receiving the Medal in History. Nicholas Tyler Hash. Junyu Ho. Andrew Lee Lucan. Nathan Edward Lucan. Rain Eileen Hobian. Faith Joan Marie Holland. Megan Emily Horton. Emily Ann Faith Howard. Zachary Michael Humphreys. William Harrison Hutman. Dylan Joseph Inns. Tracy Issa. Jonas Brent McCam Jacobson. Adele Christina Jastremski. Meiyu Zhang. Rushin Jin. Dante William John George. Shrinitha Kanan. James Scott Capelli. Sahana Karanagaran. Taylor Jenna Katz. Sydney Nicole Kasdan. Kira Brianna Kelly. Henry Benjamin Kerr. Jada Kavari. Alina Grace Kowalczyk. Alexa Lauren Krangle. Ishan Kumar. Madison Jane Lachance. Andrew Churchill LaFrance, who is receiving a gift from the Four Directions Indigenous Student Centre. Victoria Page Lamont. Leanne Stella Larivea. Nicole Maria Ladone. Sophia Leach. Zoe Nicole LaBelle. Grace Jinju Victoria Lee. Grace Ann Lee. Naomi Grace Lee. Mia Frances Letterman. Casper James Foxton Leonard. Arthur Jingwan Lung. Spencer Ryan Levac. Tingshu Lee. Kiana Lin. Nicole Marie Louise Buchanan Lindegger. Kaylee Ann Little. Rufan Lu. Emily Ann Lyons. McKenna Elizabeth Mackey, who is receiving the Medal in Philosophy. Ryan Hannah Manis. Natalie Ryan Martin. Carly Elizabeth Martin. Emilio Martinez Bedoya. Harvard Benjamin Matt. Zachary Michael McGrath. Kelly Margaret Maguire. Sydney Lauren MacDonald. Alexandra Cadence MacDonald. Matthew Charles Stephen MacDonald. Megan Emma McDonnell. Cassidy Jade McAvoy. Michaela Jane McGuinty. Evan James McIntyre. Ayla Grace McNamee. Emily Margaret Mealing. Jacqueline Ellen Michaelis. Tiana Claire Katarzyna Michalska. Caitlin Elizabeth Miles. Sarah Lynn Miller. Cooper Jake Mindell. Saf Sahil Mayer. Richard Michael Bo Murad. Alexandra Serafin Maratas. Fiona Stephanie Morin. Audra Lynn Morrison. Peyton Ellen Morrison. Zain Joseph Ramshad Mungal. Claire Lilius Murray. Jasmine Palmetta Musagolo. Andrew William Nassau. Lucas Kazuki Nassau Nielsen. Lacey Elizabeth Neal. Alexander Noel Polstra Nielsen. Natalie Sylvia Nellis. Nadia Newton. Elliot Felix Norman. Haley Rose Maggie Nyman. Aidan D'Souza Oliveira. Leanne Guao Yundan Olet. Jonathan Edward Bruce Owen. Selena Grace Pacheco. Scott Christopher Campbell Palm. Jack Thomas Parks. Haley Patel. Simon Garrett Patterson. Sophie Ryder Pay. Dylan Lee Thomas Pern. Sullivan Jude McEwen Pearson. Katerina Halam Perot.
Margaret Emma Persad. Quinton Brian Petra Ferrugia. Erica Frankie Prachucci. Pearson. Simon Alexander Pearson. Pineda? Yeah. Isabella Sofia Pineda. Policino. Policino. Evan Policino. Franklin? Delaney Elizabeth Prangley. Ava Claire Preston. Caitlin Lee Pringle, who is receiving the Medal in Drama, which is my department. Thank you. Matthew Timothy David Purdy. Chin. Victoria Chin. Kubti. Ava O'Neill Kubti. Hey, how are you? You want Mike? Timothy Michael Quinlan. Isabella Ann Keatasol. Ilya Radushin. Just Rain, okay. Eve Anna Rain. Hi, how are you? Morea Rach. Jade Marlan Rose Rollin. Dina Rahman. Zhao Ren. Jordan Nicole Rinaldi. Shelby Marie Ricks. Maya Chunzen Rose. Valentina Marie Roll. Valentina Marie Roll. Yael Alexandra Rizonic. Yael Alexandra Rizonic. Caitlin Victoria Rutherford. Garisha Kaur Soni. Samantha Seiler. Juliana Milena Savaslian. Rowan Isabel Sheehan, who is receiving the Governor-General's Academic Silver Medal, the Prince of Wales Prize, and the Medal in Classical Studies. Ellie Ryn Shepherd. Catherine Shuchuk. Maheen Siddiqui. Benjamin Silverman. Eleanor Sarah Smith. Bridget Siobhan O'Callaghan Smith. Bridget Siobhan O'Callaghan Smith. Malcolm Conrad Smith. Stella Snow. Avery Dawn Soares. Caleb Solway. Okay, not Alexander? Rowan Solway. Anjali Francine Monica Suktio. Anjali Francine Monica Suktio. Sozanska Palumbo. Catherine Danielle Sozanska Palumbo. Your mother said Caroline. Oh, yeah, Caroline. Yeah. Greta Caroline Speider. Jada Elizabeth Spence. Spielach. Adam Gabriel Spiewak. Megan Molly Evelyn. Megan Molly Evelyn Stanley. Nicholas William Stanley. Jeremy David Stevens. Phaedra Stevens. Ryan Stewart. Reagan Haley Lapos Stiles. Sophie Jean Porter Stone. Madeline Bronwyn Stott. Abigail Denley Stout. William Michael Strickey. Benjamin James Strike. Vaishnavi Shaganthan. Alyssa Surmak. Swaysland. Brooke Elizabeth Swaysland. Nicole Marie Takis. Grace Nicole Wayman Tang. Yafet Team. Keegan Furman Gillard or Gillard? Gillard Tellis. Keegan Furman Gillard Tellis. Austin James Thomas Roberts. Rhea Akan Thereraja. Rhea Akan Thereraja. Abigail Jocelyn Margaret Tibbles. Christabel Toe. Madeline Adelena Toffs. Evelyn Margaret Tomov. Sophia Trenoga. Ainsley Moira Yokoski. Emma Alexandra Vaca. Leila Camelia Vafa. Emily Kirsten Van Rossum. Nathan Vasey. Samantha Nina Vero. Nathaniel Robert William Vokes. Stellan Johanna Vrieken. Samuel Rousseau Wallace. Jiran Hong. Ruby Summer Wessinger. Madeline Riley Whitehouse. James Thatcher Wilgar. Paul Benjamin Winmaller. Adam Matthew Whale. Hello, how are you, Hunter? Hunter Monroe Wolf. Samuel Elijah Woodside. Madison Wu. Catherine Jane Wyatt. Wenjin Zhu. Han Yang. Jingdeng Yang. Olivia Youngblood. Xibing Wang. Gigi Zhou. Victoria Bucci. Alexandra Lin Shan. Tian. Ethan Riley Chu. Aiden Hoxie Chin. Violet Victoria Dacaria. Arnold Joan Joan. Michelle Ehrlich. Khalil Mebolarin Moses Ayo Ekpo. Serafina Maria Georgiades. Anais Marie Guati. I don't know. How are you? Hallie Dawn Hood. I'm fine, thank you. And you? Sydney Levitt. Griffin Dean Trey McNeil. Hannah Ellison McWilliam. Sebastian Molgat. Amelia Polonska. Ainsley Christina Ann Stacy. Sienna Campbell Summers. Jingjuan Sun. William Giles Verkyle. For the degree of Bachelor of Fine Art, Isabel Annika Iris Bratt. Olivia Chang. Paige Victoria Chusilo. Kathy Jiajuan Huang. Fiona Claire McMillan. Emma Madeline Joanne Poley. Willow Salsky is receiving the Medal in Visual Art. Sarah Noelle Spencer. Jeanette. Livia Jeanette Steele. Sylvia Lynn Waddell. Samantha Sylvia Lynn Waddell. For the degree of Bachelor of Music, Ellie Elizabeth Atten. Sarah Ann Bacon. Maya Mackenzie Barber. Elizabeth Fullerton. Callie Moon Generou. Juliana Cordelia Gonsalves. Janai Ree. Hannah K. Singer. Noah William Ullman. Lauren Lee Margaret Williams. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Theater, Alice Julianne Batista. Charlotte May Burgeneau Murren. Sarah Jane Doyle. Ebony Eileen Elliott. Annalise Elizabeth Lunn. Kate Josephine Bright Papil. Salas? Christian Gail Salas Caldera. Aja Elizabeth Tanis. Sophie, finally. No, I don't mean you're graduating. Sophie Grace William. Wilson. I've known Sophie for a long time, and I called her Williams. Her last name is Wilson. Could we have another round of applause, please? Age does catch up to you. I'd like now to wish all of you to join with me in congratulating all of our graduates.
Chancellor Rogers, I have the honor to request that these degrees and diplomas be awarded in absentia to those whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor but are not present to receive the degree at your hands. Thank you.
Let me be among the first to congratulate you as you embark on this new, exciting chapter in your lives, taking the final steps in your journey from student to graduate. Today's ceremony represents not only a celebration of your academic achievements, but also a recognition of your membership in the Queen's Alumni Association. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Queen's Alumni family. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Susan. I feel like the town crier. It was a very moving morning. And I get to hear everything you say to the principal because he's right behind me. And I did hear someone say, I had a wonderful time here. And I hope that's true for all of you. We all hope that's true for all of you. It's been a terrific morning, and as we close Spring Convocation 2026, I'd like to offer you these words from the writer Richard Wagame's Iban. That's who the chaplain started with this morning. And he wrote, "All that we are is story. From the moment we are born to the time we continue on our spirit journey, we are involved in the creation of the story of our time here. It is what we arrive with. It is all we leave behind. We are not the things we accumulate. We are not the things we deem important. We are story, all of us. And what comes to matter then is the creation of the best possible story we can while we're here, you, me, us, together. When we can do that, and we take the time to share these stories with each other, we get bigger inside. We see each other, we recognize our kinship, and we change the world one story at a time. Class of 2026, the opening chapters of your life have been remarkable, and it's time for you to create the rest of your story, and what a story it will be. Everyone at Queen's is predicting a runaway bestseller. Our faith is strong in you. We thank you for choosing our university, and as Susan said, you're part of the alumni family now, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do next. Come back often and tell us about it. I opened Convocation today in my best Mohawk, which I will admit isn't very good at all, but I will close in my best Vulcan, and I can say these 4 words very, very well. Divtor he smoomsma. Live long and prosper, class of 2026. And just before we go, Summerhill, if you go back to campus, Summerhill is looking wonderful. The scaffolding has been removed. You can take beautiful pictures there, lots of photo ops. You can get behind the gigantic queue and do what, well, maybe not do whatever you want with it, but at least pose. And you can also take a picture under the alumni banner, because you are now, and that's wonderful. If you come back a little later in the afternoon, there's gelato, I promise. All right. Leaving the hall, the platform party will go first, followed by graduates, and then members of the audience. But now, if you would join us for the singing of O Canada, Esther Chung, who is a music student here at Queen's, will sing it for us. Esther.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté les pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée